Tape www.suividecolosénégal.com. À École au Sénégal, c'est facile, tu n'as qu'à te connecter. Tape École au Sénégal, les leçons sont beaucoup plus détaillées.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Teacher Raisa, and I hope we're doing good. For the past couple of weeks, we've been giving different topics on ACEs that you can write on. And last week, we had talked extensively about education, about community. And this week, we're starting something new about health, your health, good health. So what is health? In the midst of this pandemic that we're going through, in the midst of these challenging times, we've gone through we've seen a lot of different diseases, a lot of different struggles, people struggling. And so I think it's important that we talk a little bit about health. I am not a health expert, that's for sure, but I know one or two things, just in case you were asked to write an essay about health. What would you say health is all about? It's such a large spectrum. There is so much to talk about health, but the basic line about health. Health is not just something that is physical. Oftentimes we feel that health is the presence of diseases, of illnesses, of infirmity, but that is it's not just limited to that. Health is not what you're feeling and stuff like that. Health is not just the presence of a sickness, of a disease, of something that is causing you not to work right. Health is as well mental. It's as well physical. It could even be spiritual. It just depends on the way you look at it. That is the definition of health. And I put on the board that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. That is health. Being in good health. You have to be physically right. You have to be mentally right. You have even to be socially right. It's a completion. It's having all this inclusive. It's not just the absence of a disease, that is what it is. And so health, when you talk about health, you talk about good health behaviors, you talk about being in good health, you talk about the rightful way of being. And staying healthy, it means staying right. It means being right, being okay, physically, spiritually, mentally, socially. That is healthy living. That is feeling good, being in a good way, being in a good mood. That is being healthy. And we're going to look at physical. What is physical when we talk about physical health? Physical education, I told us, is about having adequate exercise, having a balanced diet for physical education, physical health. Physical health, it's having a balanced diet. It's important to have a balanced diet. Balanced diet or nutrition. Physical exercise, which is sports and all. Physical exercise. And of course, rest. A good rest. These are some of the advantages or some of the points that you have to know about physical health. Physical health. You have to have a balanced diet, balanced nutrition. We know about the pyramid, the nutritious pyramid, the pyramid table, that you have to eat more fruits, drink a lot of water, less sugar, less fat, less salt. So you have to eat right at the right time. It's important that you eat right. Enough, but a little bit of everything. And then, of course, physical exercise. How often do you exercise? Even if it's just to stretch for 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day, it's important to do some exercises. Bodily exercise is a good thing, it keeps you active, it keeps your bones active. And then, of course, you have enough rest. How often do you rest? At least 8 hours. They say you should rest at least for 8 hours a day. After working so hard, after moving, after thinking and all, you have to rest your body, because after a while, your body gets tired. It can fail on you, So it's important to do that. It's important to be physical. So because it takes away a lot of diseases as well when you're active. It keeps your body away from diseases. It keeps your body healthy and all. And then some of the balanced diet that you have, a lot of fruits takes out a lot of diseases in our bodies. People don't know that. You should try to stay away from a lot of medications. a lot of medications. Like I personally, I do not like medication. So I try as much as possible to replace them, like calcium, you can drink milk, all the citrus, like vitamins, you take a lot of citrus. So there are a lot of things that you can have, proteins in the food and stuff. There are a lot of things that you can have that can replace the presence of a lot of medications in our system. So physical health is important. It's important that our physical bodies be okay. It's important that we stay healthy. It's important that we can stretch our bones and not feel back pain or feel belly pain because we ate something that we're not supposed to eat, or it was not properly washed, and then we get food poisoning, or and so we get into an accident and probably fall because of something or that. So it's important that our physical bodies be good. It's important that we stay healthy and strong. It's important that we stay active, because sometimes when we eat the wrong way, we gain all this weight, and then we become obese, or then you become overweight, and then we cannot do a lot of things at once. So our physical bodies become so heavy, and that's a problem. And of course, we know what obesity can do. We know what overweight can do. It brings in a lot of other diseases, cardiac problems, health, back problems, knee problems, ankle problems. There are all kinds of issues that you can have with your physical body if we don't do it the right way, if we don't eat the right portion, if we do not exercise. It becomes a problem, if we don't rest enough. Rest is important. Some people, they fail, they have the faint, or they have stroke and things like that just because they don't rest well. So it's important. Health is important. It's important that we stay. What about the mental health? I'm sorry, my end is not the best. The mental health. A lot of times, a lot of people nowadays go through mental health. Mental, about your mind. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts? What are what's going through your mind? It's important. The battle of the mind. This is very, very important and very, very strong. I think it's even one of the most serious issues. But it's more serious than physical, mental. Because everything starts from the head. It's what you think. It's all about your emotions. It's all about your feelings. It's all about your thoughts. It's all about how you react. It's your mental. A lot of people go through depression, and it's caused because of what we think in our mental. And it's important that you have mental health. Mental health means even when you're low, how do you bounce back? How do you get back? Mental is what you keep in your mind. If somebody hurts you, somebody says something, and go through something, how long does it last in your mind? Do you let it go after a while? How do you process pain or loss or disappointments? It's important, mental health. How do you go through it? How do you stay focused? How do you stay positive? It's about your mental health, and it's important. It's very, very important. So how do you go through it? It's important as you go through. It helps you with it's part of healthy living. Mental, it's really, really important. And people get easily demoralized. Get easily back down, they get easily depressed, they get easily worried, they get easily tormented, they get easily attacked mentally, and then it goes into their heart, and then you see sometimes they have a stroke because they're thinking too much, they faint, or they start acting strangely, or they start taking psychotic medications just because they cannot handle stress. How do you handle your stress? Is it through yoga? Is it through sports? Is it through singing? Is it through fishing? Is it through reading? Is it through religiously, spiritually, your Bible, your Quran, your Torah? How do you handle stress? Do you go through a process? Do you meet in a group, and talk about it? Do you write it down? How do you handle depression? How do you handle the battles of your mind, as I might say? It's important that you know what they are, and sometimes it could get worse. So please be careful with your mental health. Stay positive. Stay on top of things. Let go of certain things, Keep your mind positive. Surround yourself with positivity. Enjoy life, Keep your mind only with good thoughts. Be around good people. Stay healthy. Take a glass of milk. Take a glass of water. If possible, why not even a glass of wine that will make you, gay. So it's important that you know about mental health. And what about social well-being? Social well-being is your interaction amount. Are you an introvert? Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert, pardon? Are you a happy person? Are you a person that people are glad to be around? Are you friendly? What's your social? Are you in the midst of other people? Do you identify yourself with groups or other activities? How do you go about it? And social could be even your spiritual life. How is your spiritual life? How is the God in your life? How is divinity in your life? How does it play in your life, spirituality? That's all about social well-being, because you cannot be alone. You cannot be someone and that you're all alone. You feel so lonely and you feel so alone and you feel so into your own corner, and people are not sure how you react, and people are afraid to come next to you because, I don't know, are you a gossiper? Are you a wicked person? Are you someone that doesn't know how to share? You don't crack jokes easily, you easily get mad, you're easily bored, or you bore people a lot. What's the social milieu that you are? What's your social attributes, your social characteristics? It's important for your health. It's very, very important for your social well-being. It's good to come on, it's good to identify yourself. It's good that when you work so hard throughout the week, that at least you take a day off to go meet with people, to go socialize. It could be in a community, it could be in a group, it could be an association, it could be a tontine, it could even be in a church, it could even be a religious group. Whatever it is, identify yourself, socialize yourself, get to have friends, get to have close people that if something happens, they can attest for you. So that's your social well-being, and it's all part of health. I told you that health is in the middle, and then it has different aspects that make it good living, that make it good health, because good living is part of good health. It's part of health. If you're eating the right thing, if you're eating at the right time, if you're having people that make you happy, you have people that you count on, you have good thoughts, you exercise, so your body is okay, because when your body is active, diseases and illnesses can hardly come into it if you're active enough, if you're gay, if you're sportive, that's part of the social life. So it's a blend of a lot of things to keep you healthy. It's important that we know that we have a lot of things that play in to keep you healthy, so you stay healthy. That is important. And then we have the different aspects of being healthy. What are those rules to be happy? Because we can have all this, but then how do we stay happy? Of course, we know there are cleaning rules to be clean. And clean means not only physically, not only outwardly, but inwardly. To be clean inside out. What does that mean, to be clean inside out? It means that your thoughts, are we taking a good bath? Are we bathing constantly and regularly, not bathing every 2 or 3 days? And you have to bathe, the rule says that we have to bathe at least twice a day, especially when it's very hot during the summer, or you worked so hard and had to sweat and all. It's proper that we bathe twice a day, at least. The rule says that we have to brush our teeth. You have to brush our teeth. We don't brush our mouths, but we brush our teeth, please. At least the rule says you should brush after every meal, especially meals that have strong smell, strong odor. But what if you're somewhere you don't have a toothbrush, you have a mouth spray? What if you're somewhere you don't have a bathroom? Because at least you need to have a bag with your stuff in it. But when you get up in the morning, you have to brush your teeth. Before you go to bed, you have to brush your teeth to prevent cavity. To prevent mouth odor. That is all about cleanliness, because cleanliness is important to health. If we are not clean, we cannot be healthy. I said that. Cleanliness is all about being clean. It's all about doing the right thing.
Senegal.